Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime Making 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto Broke His Human Limiter. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an Exiled Saiyan trained by Vados over on Anime Making 2. And over Anime Prince, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Sent to the My Hero Academy universe by Kaguya. So go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels. Well, 4: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, what do you say without further ado? We'll begin this now, guys. So the last time we left off, we started on the planet outside of the elemental nations. It turns out that this planet belonged to the Otsutskis. The king on said planet was a rather dreadful man. A ritual happened, a strange ritual with 2 others were tied to strange seals binding that turned their body into a fruit. The 2 fruit was then brought to the king. As he told them to go and find the woman, the scout and the search began once again. The king then devoured the fruits, as he seemed to release more immense power. A distance off, Momoshiki was greeted by the man that the king had spoke to. It turns out that the one that Naruto had killed was the leader of the tracking group, and now the second in command had to take over, which was Yurishiki, tracker and scouter. As Momoshiki told him to go and find Yurishiki now. At Konoha, the woman in the room was known as Kagura, as she was a younger sister of none other than Kaguya Otsutsuki. However, Naruto did not know any of that. She was saying some strange things that Naruto did not understand. However, she told him that he couldn't tell the Hokage what she was about to tell him, the leader of this village that is. As Naruto got to talk with her, as she told him a few things, it turns out that their king was a rather dreadful man and, well, those who go against him would end up dead. A part of Naruto wanted to fight this superpowered king because he was always looking for a good fight. And he also wanted to protect her as well. She was so nice to him. And she was a nice person, she did not deserve the fate that the king was going to place on her. As she thanked him for being so nice to her, but she could not complicate his life like that. However, Naruto said that he wanted help, as he was going to help her no matter what. She decided to do him a favor since she found that he was an orphan and never knew his parents. She was able to go into his mind. Upon doing so, she searched, as she was able to find the first view that he set his eyes on once he was born, and that was his parents. However, she was not able to fully see them, but she did hear something, Mina and Kushi. But something didn't appear in Naruto's mind. Whatever the thing was, it was dark, corrupted, as it blasted her out of there. Once she got up, she was fearful of Naruto, who apologized. He thought that he hurt her and he looked so sad that she wanted to apologize for that. She told him that everything would be fine. Meanwhile, the hidden stone. Kurosaki was in deep thought as she had to face Naruto in the finals, as she didn't know what to even think about right now. However, Tsubaki arrived. As he started to speak, Kurosaki made her promise to never tell a single soul what she was going to tell her, as she told her that she and Naruto had, well, liked each other. Kurosaki did not notice that Tsubaki was getting angrier the more she talked about this Naruto fellow, as she thought that Tsubaki would, well, sympathize with her, but the girl was getting more and more pissed off. However, she said that she would not betray the country for anyone after all. She couldn't do that. Despite her feelings, she just had to lock them away. Tsubaki was angry though when Kurosaki called her a friend. It seems that there were some deeper feelings there that Tsubaki has never really told anyone. However, she could not allow this to happen. She could not allow Kurosaki to ever see him again, so she had to do something about it. Meanwhile, at Konoha, Hiruzen came in as he spoke to Kagura. She told him that he could not take her out of Naruto's life. Otherwise, well, he wouldn't like that. Hiruzen was rather angry that she was trying to blackmail him, but when she told him what she saw within Naruto's mind, Hiruzen knew that was the likely example of what would happen, as he remembered that Naruto had no memories of what happened at Snake Land. However, a majority of the snakes were eviscerated, as Naruto had wiped them out without even noticing. Hiruzen was starting to get worried, however, to keep Naruto's mental state safe and good. He had to make sure that Naruto was cared for and loved, to make sure that he doesn't snap, as even Kagura was worried as well. There was something inside of him that was just itching to come out and wipe away everything. And with his body as strong as it was, she doubted that any of them could actually stop him if he tried to do so, which got Hiruzen even more worried, as he had to take some extra precaution. So with that, Naruto brought Kagura to his home. As he apologized for the place being so small, she told him that it was fine. He was opening his home up to her. She would never complain, she was grateful for what he was doing. As Naruto was loving this, not to mention she was the first person to ever tell him something that revolved around his parents. And also, he always wanted someone to come home to. While there was Sakura, Kakashi, and Sasuke as his teammates, the old man there as well, and the people at Ichiro Ramen, Naruto never really had anyone to come home to and say, I'm home. But now he had someone, and he couldn't be any happier, as he was glad that she was there. And she was also glad that he was here as well. She knew that she's been missing something her entire life. Yes, it was companionship. Looking towards his child, who looked like a younger brother or son to her. It made her feel happy as she remembered about her big sister. However, Naruto did not know the full truth about exactly why was the king coming after her and what he was going to do to her, and how ruthless and dangerous the Otsutsuki clan really was. However, soon enough he will know. But Naruto came up with the idea to make some more money. He would go after the ninjas in the bingo book. He would become a bounty hunter for the months. That should be racking up money up. So yeah guys, basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the play check for yourself, and would you say begin this new episode? Let's not waste any time guys, let's jump right into it. We begin this new episode with Aoi Rokusho. Aoi Rokusho was a missing ninja from Konoha. He had used the brother of Ibiki Marino to help him steal the Thunder God blade before killing the young Chunin. He had then fled the village with the blade, becoming a missing nin with one of Konoha's valuable artifacts. Over the years, no one could find him because he had laid low, thinking that the heat would eventually just wear off him. However, Konoha would never let something like that go, so he was placed in the bingo book for 15 million. And he still had the Thunder God blade, wanted dead or alive. He had went on to join the Hidden Rain, offering his services there to please them. But Konoha ninjas were still after him and he still had a bounty, so he had to be careful every now and then. However, at the moment, Aoi Rokusho was screwed. He was running for his life as he hopped from tree to tree before he landed and ran on the rough soil, quickly making his way as fast as possible. Aoi was panicking, sweat was rushing down from his forehead, his entire body was trembling in fear. Today had started like a normal day for Aoi. He had left out of the village to visit a nearby town. After coming back from a big mission from the Hidden Rain, it was some time for relaxing, and that is exactly what he planned on doing. However, how could a quick relaxing session turn into something so terrible? At the town of pampering and luxurious massage, Aoi found this strange child that just walked up towards him. He wasn't that small, however, he had this innocent look on his face. Aoi then saw the headband and immediately started to panic. At first he thought more Konoha ninjas were nearby, but the child told him that he was here alone. The child then told him to come with him as he was going to bring him in for his bounty. Aoi had spread his senses as he didn't really think the child was alone, but no one else was here. He told the child that he would come with him. Aoi couldn't believe how stupid he was. As he led him outside, as the child walked in front of him, he had pulled out the Thunder God blade and then tried to decapitate him in a swift motion. There is no one on this planet that can bring him back towards the bounty station. However, what happened next scared the crap out of Aoi. He swung the blade towards the child's head. He then turned and bit it. Aoi was shocked as it pure raw lightning. The seal on the blade made it convert your chakra into a pure saber-like blade, which was extremely powerful, and yet the child had bit right through it, disabling the chakra that was flowing through it. Aoi had dropped the blade in shock before the child had picked it up. Aoi had flashed through hand sign rather quickly as he launched a gigantic ball of water from his mouth that slammed in the child's face. However, he simply used it to push his hair back, wetting his hair slightly. There wasn't even a scratch. Aoi then proceeded to freak the hell out as he launched several attacks, but the child simply laughed them off, saying that he was too weak to hurt him. As Aoi realized that he was not dealing with a child or even a human, it was death. Death had come to claim his soul as he had ran for his life. He looked behind him as he did not see anyone there, as he had been running at full speed for a good 10 minutes now. So there was nothing to worry about. Death would not be taking him today. That is when Aoi slowed down as he came to a stop. What he saw baffled him, as he was so confused. He just started to laugh, as he wondered if he was going crazy. Yes, that must be the case. As he saw the child in front of him sitting down, with 2 plates of sushi in front of him, as he was eating. "Oh, what took you so long?" said Naruto as he looked up with a smile. "I had enough time to go and get something to eat and bring it back here and wait for you." Aoi started to laugh even more as he slapped himself across the face. "Are you okay?" said Naruto. "I must be dreaming," said Aoi. "No, you're not," said Naruto. Aoi dropped to his butt. He had fired off his strongest technique, and yet he did not phase this thing in front of him. "Just let me finish this and I'll deal with you," said Naruto. As Aoi just stared where he was, his mind was not understanding the possibility of all of this happening to him. As Naruto sat there and ate until he was finished. Once he was done, he burped. "Excuse me," he said, as he pulled out a bottle of water and started to drink. Aoi just watched him as Naruto walked towards him. "Now that I've finally caught you," said Naruto, "how about you come with me willingly, so I don't have to rough you up a bit," said Naruto. "I'm gonna bring you back in alive. Usually I would feel something for dragging you back to a place that might definitely kill you. However, you've done some really bad things," said Naruto. "I've only been going after the dangerous, criminal minds so far. Really bad persons. And you're a really bad person, so I have no qualms of dragging you back to get what you deserve. You did the crime, so you're gonna do the punishment. I'm not gonna really call it time because they're probably gonna kill you," said Naruto. Aoi flipped a kunai as he drive it right towards Naruto's skull. However, Naruto simply reached out and bent the tip before he threw it away, right over the small little ravine. Before he then reached forward, as he finger flicked Aoi, his body was thrown as he smashed right into a boulder and fell unconscious. As Naruto walked over towards him and picked him up. "Another one completed," Naruto said, that smile on his face, as he picked up Aoi and jumped off. At Konoha, there was a meeting being taking place at the moment. Hiruzen was hiding a big secret, and the council wanted to know what the hell is going on. And this secret was Naruto. Plain and simple. Hiruzen allowed Naruto to continue his bounty work for the past 2 weeks. He never expected it would draw so much attention to himself, but he guessed that was his fault. While Naruto was making Konoha looking better by a long run, he was still gathering a lot of questions from the others. Hiruzen did not tell anyone, except for a select few, about the child and his growth. And now they wanted to know what the hell is going on. As he entered and sat down, the first one to speak was Danzo Shamira. "We've been waiting for a while now. You know why we have called this meeting, so let's not waste much time, shall we?" said Danzo. As his voice was like he was demanding answers, Hiruzen gave him a look. Hokage-sama, he finished his statement. As Hiruzen nodded his head, fine. So tell us, said Homura, what have you been hiding? The other clan heads are curious as well. Yes, we would all like to know, Koharu said, because it has been 2 weeks, and Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha has shattered the collection of bounty of any single bounty hunter in the entire history of the Elemental Nation in just 2 weeks. The entire B and A rank listing for ninjas over the entire 5 nations has been completely drained to nothing. A lot of villages has now set their sights on Konoha about the money that they had to pay out because a child, a simple genin, was able to collect over 142 bounty in the past 2 weeks. Something that should not be possible. How is that even possible, Koharu asks. Naruto did not only go for ninjas in Konoha, he went for ninjas across the entire nation. From Konoha to the Stone to Kiri to Kumo, to the smaller villages to the Sand. Naruto has collected over 100 plus bounties. From B and A rank, the listings were 0 right now. There was only C and S. However, Naruto has been unable to find any S rank ninjas. They're hiding rather well, and no one can understand how he was able to find them so quickly, and how he was able to subdue 100 plus. Hiruzen sighed. Yes, you're right, he said. I have been keeping something from all of you. Naruto Uzumaki is no normal child. I know what you're all thinking, and I'm not talking about the Kyuubi. I will speak freely, and I will allow you all to do the same, given the importance of this meeting. So, go ahead, he said, knowing that he had a lot of questions. The first one to speak up was Tatsumi. Does he have some kind of Keki Genkai to subdue opponents or something that allows him to gather all these bounties so quickly? No. He's just naturally subduing them. How? Knocking them out, of course, Hiruzen said. But how? Some of these guys are no jokes. A-ranks, powerful A-rank ninjas with special and unique Keki Genkais out there, especially the ones from Kiri. So how is he doing this? As Hiruzen sighed. A few years ago, once he had entered the academy, Naruto Uzumaki had been defeated by Sasuke Uchiha on his first day of testing his skills. So he wanted advice to get stronger. Resident Shinobi Mike Guy gave him a book revolving around ninja studies. However, Naruto was too young to comprehend what he was doing at the time, and accidentally did all of the physical exercises that would take centuries if you were to do all of them in the capacity that he was doing in just 6 years. What? But he was a child, said Tatsumi. That is a point. But if that is the case, his young body should have taken a great toll, said Shikaku. Shouldn't he not be here with us right now? Yes. That almost happened at least 100 times with him. What do you mean? Shikaku said. According to the physical doctor that I had tested him once, I found out about this. It turns out that Naruto had torn his ligaments and destroyed his body on a dangerous level each night when he finished training, because after 1 year he started to do this over and over, not realizing the stress that he was putting on his body. However, the Fox Chakra was constantly healing him over and over, every single day when he pushed himself to his absolute limits. And that caused his body to break some kind of human limiter. We all have a limit to the capability of strength and speed that we can gather in our lifetime. It seems that Naruto has shattered that limit. So, you're saying that there is nothing stopping him from getting stronger and stronger and stronger, said Choza. Yes, exactly. This is a joke, right? Said Homura. Yes, it must be, Koharu said. There's no way something like that is possible. For any normal person, no. However, because of the fox, Naruto was able to shatter his limits and go beyond what was expected for a normal human, giving him strength and speed that surpassed anyone that he's come across. Danzo raised the eyebrow. So you're telling me that that child is possibly one of the strongest shinobi within the village? In a sense, yes. Wait, are you saying that he's stronger than you? Asked Tatsumi as she looked towards the Hokage. On that I am not certain. As the members were shocked. How could the Hokage not be certain of that? Well, considering that he was able to gather 100 plus bounties in just a span of 2 weeks, we should all consider that he is stronger than the Hokage. If you really think about it, that's impossible, said Koharu. He is just a child, a genin nonetheless. While he does have physical strength, can that really be possible? I assure you there is no mistake in here or lie. Naruto has trained himself into a state that no other being on this planet can reach, and I don't think they ever will. I myself am not sure about the full capability that he possesses. You all could now understand why he's been able to do what he has done so far. If that is the case, Homura said, shouldn't we get some precautions just in case he... I'll stop you right there, said Hiruzen. I know what you're thinking. Having such strength at a young age, anyone would be worried. Considering that this village has never really treated him that favorable because of what he contained, we all should be worried, Hiruzen said. Then what are we doing about this? Said Koharu as the clan heads were all listening to this. They were also starting to understand that this could be detrimental for all of them if Naruto turned against them. I see, said Shikaku. They looked towards him. That is why you allow him to do this. To show him that you trust him to go after his bounties and return back to his home. Because normally, you would have never allowed a genin to go after any sort of bounty no matter what is the rank. Hiruzen nodded his head before he said cat. The cat arrived and handed him a folder. As Hiruzen opened and started to throw papers to every single member there, they all picked it up. What's this? Said Homura as Danzo narrowed his gaze. Wait, did you do this? Koharu asked. No, that was all Naruto. You're telling me that he's in charge of all the constructions going on with the orphanage? And he gave them this much money? Yes, despite what he has been through. He understands how it feels like to be alone and to not have anyone by his side. And he doesn't want the other kids to feel that way and also live in poor conditions. As you can see, he has done more for the orphanage of this village than all of us combined. All the clan heads kind of felt bad. The kid was really generous. Speaking of that, Hiruzen said, there's something that you all should know. Recently, Hiruzen had a talk with Kagura in his office. That is when she had saw the photo of Minato, and she knew exactly who that was. Hiruzen was shocked when she realized who it was. The problem was, she was worried. Kagura was worried about telling Naruto the truth. After seeing his memory, she knew what he has been through. And if he found out that he was the son of the Hokage after everything they put him through, and he was someone so important, it wouldn't be pretty. So despite her better judgment, he begged her to keep this to herself for now until he find a way to properly sort this out. Hiruzen had no qualms with telling Naruto who his parents were now, because he knew that Naruto could defend himself, but the problem was, how would he take it? And he needed help to do so. What is it? Shikaku said. Minato Namikaze had a son. They narrowed their gaze towards him. Shikaku narrowed his gaze. As he looked up, no, it can't be, he said. Wait, what's going on? Said Tatsumi. It's Naruto, isn't it? Said Shikaku. Exactly. What? Homura and Koharu said, completely in shock at that as they did not know. The relationship between the two was a well-kept secret, and they did not know about that. And when Kushina gave birth, there was only Bawako, Hiruzen's wife, and also another medic there that was all killed, and the Anvus that were guarding them was killed as well, so no one here really knew about that information. So the news was shocking as they thought that Naruto was given the name Uzumaki because, well, he was just an orphan and they didn't know his parents. So this was frightening. Shikaku though understand the implications of this. The child was never treated fairly his life. So if he were to find out that Minato was his father, an important man like that, he would not take it well at all. This was bad. Extremely bad. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Stone, how much is it now, Oniki said. His tone was not happy. It was not happy in the slightest. He was angry, to be exact. Oniki was angry because of the latest hunter, known as Naruto Uzumaki, who was taking the entire world by storm. Yes, he was. As this was the same child that he was told about on the mission with his granddaughter, and now he come to find out that this child has the man in front of him placed on the folder. Oniki clenched his fist when he saw 21B rank and 11A rank. That is how much ninjas the child had returned back to the village and collected their bounty at the bounty hunting station in the Land of Stone. While they could not personally go after him for bringing back bounties, Oniki had him watch every single time. However, the moment he stepped out of the station, he was gone. The members could not keep track of him. Maybe a teleportation of sorts, however, he was just gone like that. It couldn't be raw speed, that just wouldn't be possible. As Oniki was not liking this. Just what kind of monstrosity had Konoha breathed? Meanwhile, at Kumo, it's the same child, isn't it? The Raikage said, as Yujito looked down towards the folder. Yes, it's the exact same child. He was the one that saved me. The Raikage was not liking this. So far, Kumo had received an abundance of their missing names, every A and B rank, severely taken down rather easily by this child. He dropped them off in the Land of Lightning and then left, collecting a huge sum from them. Recently, he has been paying out a lot for all the bounties that has been coming in, which he didn't like one bit, especially to a Konoha ninja. Knowing that if he goes after the child right now, it would be a big scandal, he decided to just have him watch. However, the child was disappearing every time he exited the station with the money. Must some teleportation jutsu. Just what has Konoha brought in this world? Was this another Yellow Flash or God of Shinobi? This was so bothersome, the Raikage thought. The sand was not happy either. The sand, not being so liquid like the other nations, had to pay out a large sum recently because of their missing names coming in. As it wasn't really draining them, but it was taking a toll out of their treasury. As they want to know who the hell was this individual, Raza, the Kazekage, was still alive. Raza was starting to second guess his planning of invading Konoha. One reason in particular, this child. It was not the child only, but if Konoha had a monster like this running around the elemental nation, given his name and given his village, they were showing that they were powerful. Raza had not contacted Orochimaru in the time frame that he should have. However, the Sand was not faring so well, and this child coming and collecting so much money from them because of the bounties. The missions were being passed to Konoha because they were showing that they were stronger. However, Raza feared the possible thought of Konoha crushing them in the upcoming invasion if this child was anything to prove. Not to mention, Temari Conqueror also said that he was able to get captured by Gaara-san, and yet he just tore it off like it was nothing. Just what the hell was he? At Kiri, Mei Terumi, new Mizukage, was currently looking at a file. A child on it. His name was Naruto Uzumaki. He seemed to be no older than 13 years old, probably 14. So far, this child had brought in a lot of, well, deserters that had left the village. However, the water daimyo was paying this child all the correct sum because he was feeling guilty. He had sided with Yagura to take away the rebel forces, but once they defeated him, he realized there was a chance of them killing him and replacing him, so he begged them to show that he was now with them. He was the one paying this child out of his own pocket. So the village was still recovering. They were coming along well, however, they still haven't opened their borders yet. They were still trading behind the scenes with other countries, however, they still haven't gone fully public. While they were doing their missions, they hadn't really interacted with the other nations. But it seems like it was time for them to get in contact with some of the other nations if they were going to survive. A single child was upsetting the balance of nature in the elemental nation. Just who the hell was he? As for Orochimaru, the snake Sanin was not happy. How could he be? For one, the snakes refused to listen to him. They refused to even come when he summoned them. They refused to let him enter the Raiko cave. The reason being, Orochimaru brought a monster to their land who shredded countless snakes. The ones that were barely able to survive after seconds of that child running through their forces, hated Orochimaru with nothing but venom. A huge part of his invasion plan was to use the snakes to break through the wall. That was not going to happen because the snakes refused to even listen to him anymore. Not to mention this child was proving to be more detrimental than he thought. Orochimaru was second guessing his invasion plan, as he was truly worried if he should actually go through with it, because if he were to do that, he doubted that they would actually win. As he started to worry, this child was making him have PTSD from when he was chasing after him and Orochimaru was running for his life. If it wasn't for the poison to his face that should have rotted out his insides, and yet the child came out of it with not even a scratch, Orochimaru was starting to worry a bit, thinking that he might come in after him because he has collected all of Konoha A and B ranks. Soon he will come after the S ranks, being him. And how the hell was he finding them so easily? He had 2 weeks left. 2 weeks to consider if he was going to stop the invasion or not. But he really think that he should not go along with it, because if he did, there was a possibility of him not coming out alive or even touching Konoha. He didn't know. He had to think about his options, or at least find a way to subdue that damn child, that monster, whatever it was, because it definitely cannot be human. It just couldn't be. Meanwhile, at Konoha, Naruto had gathered quite the reputation for himself. His name was all over, including in the village. Everywhere he go, people seemed to stare at him even more. But it wasn't like before. They seemed to be... well, he couldn't explain it. However, he did not care because he was happy. Coming back to the village once again, a happy smile on his face, as he had just handed over the Raijin blade to the Hokage himself. After collecting his bounty, of course. As Naruto money was being sent into his account. As Naruto was loaded. He was, well, it was hard to say how much money he had right now. He had opened 5 different accounts. He had even opened up an account for Kagura. Seeing that she only came with the one clothing, they had to go on a shopping spree. The both of their relationship has become close in the past 2 weeks. For one thing, she was the one helping him find the missing ninjas. Kagura could sense chakra. Unlike normal ninjas, it wasn't a sensory ability, but it was something special. Whenever they got close to any location where the missing nin had been, from the location in the bingo book where he was last seen or she was last seen, Kagura was able to pinpoint a wide area where they were, and it was up to Naruto to scout that place. With his supernatural speed, he was able to get through really quickly. He even came across Zabuza. However, Naruto did not turn him in. The reason being, he had let him go once in Kiri. And he also had that girl with him as well. And besides, Naruto was not really going after people that didn't seem so bad. After finding out more, it turns out that Zabuza had tried to assassinate the Mizukage. While Naruto wasn't sure if the Mizukage was killed after that, it turns out that the Mizukage was killing off the bloodline users. That meant he was a bad guy, so he didn't see Zabuza that badly. However, the others were murderers, killers, people that enjoy chaos. As for the S-rank ninjas, they seem to be nowhere to be found. Like, absolutely nowhere. Well, screw them, he already had enough money. As Naruto finally arrived to a 2-bedroom house, as he was currently paying rent at the moment. However, it was a lot better than the apartment that he used to live in. But this was just temporary. His real house was being built in the upper district of Konoha, where the clan heads' houses were. It was a large, magnificent place that he paid a lot of money for, but he had a lot of money now. As Naruto wanted a big family one day, a big, happy, cozy family, not to mention whenever he had friends over and all that. As the others had heard about his bounty hunting, of course, but he hadn't seen much of them recently. Most of them training for the upcoming Chunin exams. Sasuke, for one, he has not seen him in the slightest. As Naruto entered, "I'm home," he said, as his nose then caught the sniff of something. A big happy smile came on his face as he made his way in. There he saw Kagura in an apron. As Naruto saw her in the kitchen, as something was on the stove. "Welcome home," she said, a smile on her face. Kagura had joined him out on a lot of his bounties, as he enjoyed her company out there. But when she was not, Naruto decided to just end it rather quickly. But now that she was here, coming home, having a family, it actually brought tears to his eyes. Someone there to welcome him. "Are you okay, Naruto-kun?" she said. "Don't worry, Kagura-chan," he said. "I'm just fine. I'm just really happy." "Well, you deserve it," she said. "So why don't you go and get washed up? And I'll call you when it's ready." "Okay," said Naruto as he made his way. As he made his way upstairs, she actually felt worse. She did not tell him who his parents were because she was worried. So far everything had been fantastic. To drop that news on him wouldn't be pleasant in the slightest. And she didn't want to hurt him. She was afraid what would happen if he felt like he could not trust anyone. She remembered what she saw. That thing, whatever it was in his mind, was something corrupted and dark. Something that she feared big time. She just hoped the Hokage can find a way so that they could tell him to make him understand. As she really hoped he come up with a good solution. They must understand by now that Naruto is someone that could tear this village upside and down within seconds if he chose to do so. He was basically a deterrent that they should fear at all times if he was not happy or liking everything that was going on. There was a knock on the door. She made her way. She rather enjoyed this. It was like she was a mother, and it made her feel so happy on the inside. The thoughts about what was going to happen to her back on the Otsutsuki planet was terrible and dreadful. She wasn't going to exist anymore. She understood why her sister had to run away, because it was her time, and she did the same thing as well. And they wanted her back. They wanted to make her suffer, to use her as an example, saying that he couldn't find her sister, just because she wasn't strong enough like the others. But this is what she's always wanted. She wanted somewhere to settle down, somewhere to be with someone that actually cared for her and she cared for as well. And Naruto became like a little brother to her, in a sense. Her little boy, a son. But that just seemed a bit weird. Maybe a little brother would be better, she thought to herself. Yeah, her little bro, she thought. If you would have told her a few weeks ago that she would be living here with someone that she wanted to make sure was okay, someone that she wanted to protect, to go out of her way to make sure that he was safe, she would tell you that wasn't going to happen because she would have been consumed by that time and ceased to exist. But here she was, and she couldn't be more happy. Opening the door, she was surprised to see this man once again. "You again," she said. "What do you want this time?" "I'm here to see the kid," said Jiraiya. Jiraiya of the Sannin stood there. It turns out that he's related to Naruto, but not by blood. He was his godfather. She had spoken to the Hokage about this. However, Jiraiya knew that telling Naruto this now would not be good, but how would he explain his relationship? Naruto was not dumb. Why would a Sannin just come to teach him like that unless he knew about him? So they would have to tell him that Jiraiya knew about him. "Look, this is not a good time." "When is it going to be a good time?" said Jiraiya. "I mean, it's been 2 weeks, and I have an idea exactly what I want to say. Come on, just let me speak to the kid. I'm sure I can make him understand, or believe me." She stepped outside and locked the door behind her. "Look, come with me," she said, as they walked towards this lower apartment complex, going down the stairs. "I am still angry at you for not being there for Naruto. You might have an explanation on that you've been protecting the village by being a spy network. However, Naruto is much more emotional than you believe. But the thing is, he keeps his emotions locked away, and I believe that keeping too much down, he will eventually explode. I'm not worried for you in the slightest. What I'm worried for is his mind. If he believes that he can trust no one, things will be bad. And if you were to join his life right now, and then we're going to tell him that his father, who risked his life to protect everyone, is one of the heroes of this village, and you are his godfather, it's just going to be a lot more. However," she said, "I also see the good effects if you were to join his life and make him feel like he has more people to protect and care for him." Jiraiya was not being too pushy because he knew that he abandoned the kid in the past. As much as he said that he had his spy network, he was just afraid, he was a coward. and he felt lousy for that. Kagura sighed. Alright, fine, she said, as Jiraiya looked towards her. Maybe you're right, maybe I... No, she said. We have to do this. Show him that you can be a teacher first, then. When he finds out that you're a family, maybe he will understand. At least I hope he will. Moments later, as Naruto entered back downstairs, as he was now in a black t-shirt and black shorts. Huh? Who are you? He said. Oh, Naruto, said Kagura. This is Jiraiya of the Chunin. The Chunin? Where have I... Wait. You're like that snake guy. Oh, well, not really, said Jiraiya. But he was my teammate once. Oh, really? Well, I kicked his ass and you ran away, said Naruto. Is that why you're here? No, said Jiraiya. Then why are you here? Well, I've been looking for you for the past 2 weeks, but you've been all over, making quite the name for yourself. Really? Said Naruto. Huh. Haven't you noticed everyone paying more attention to you? Yeah, I have, said Naruto. Well, I've been collecting bounties, yes. Quite a lot. I mean, in the history of collecting bounties, there's never been so much collected by one person. Huh. I guess I'm just special. Don't worry, kid. The old man told me about you. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Why would he do that? Well, I am one of the strongest ninjas within Konoha. Having such a viable asset, someone as important to the village as you, well, I had to know about it. So you think I'm some kind of tool, said Naruto. Of course not, said Jiraiya. Besides, you've been protecting this village from day one, holding that thing back. You know about the Kyuubi as well. Jiraiya nodded. So what do you want, Naruto asked. Well, I would like to take you on as my apprentice. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that. You want to train me? Yeah. But I already have a teacher, his name is Kakashi. I know that, of course, said Jiraiya, but, well, I'm stronger than Kakashi, so you can understand why, well, they will be a big improvement. Well, not really, said Naruto. Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Well, I don't really need training from you. Or anyone, to be exact. I mean, Kakashi hasn't really trained me because there is nothing that he can really teach me, said Naruto. What about this, said Jiraiya as he held out his hand. As a blue ball of energy form. Whoa, what's that, said Naruto. It's the Rasengan, kid. Created by the 4th Hokage himself. The 4th Hokage, said Naruto. He created this. Yeah, said Jiraiya. And I believe that I can teach it to you. As Naruto held out his hand, as a red ball of energy flickered into existence after a few seconds, Jiraiya stood up in shock. What did you just do? It's a technique that you just used, but mine is red. How? Said Jiraiya. As Naruto dissipated the ball. That took the Hokage 3 years. Oh, about that, said Naruto. The fox told me that my body is... What did he say? He's sleeping right now, and he's always grumpy when I wake him up, so I'll try to remember. Jiraiya stood there with a shock look on his face. Oh yeah, he said that my body can adapt to any sort of ability because I have pushed past my human limit and I become a conductor of sorts. Information and techniques can be gathered in quick successions. It's a word-lengthy explanation. He said it has something to do with me almost killing myself doing training, but I can quickly adapt to things around me, especially techniques. Once I've seen it, my body start to adapt to the amount of chakra and how the technique is performed. But I don't really like using ninjutsu, especially the clone technique. Why? Kagura asked as she looked at him. Oh, they're rather rude, said Naruto. What do you mean? Just look, said Naruto as he created a clone. The clone popped into view as he stood there. Huh? What the hell do you want? He said. See what I mean? Jiraiya was confused. Why is he being so rude? Who's talking to you, old fossil? The clone said to him. I don't really know, said Naruto. They don't really take orders from me either. Why should I? You think you're better than me, the clone said. I didn't say that. Well, screw you, the clone said. Jiraiya was confused by all of this. Just what in the hell has a child become? Adapting to the Rasengan in a matter of seconds. A clone that didn't listen to him. The clone then got up all in Naruto's face. So what? We want to do something about it. The clone slammed his fist in Naruto's face, throwing his head back. Naruto, said Kagura. The clone then glared at her as he moved. However, Naruto gripped him by the hand. Don't you dare, said Naruto as the clone turned. As Naruto's fist slammed into his face, the clone cracked a bit as a force popped the clone rather easily. Sorry about that, said Naruto. They don't like to listen to me at all. Jiraiya has never seen something like this before, as it really did not make any sense. So thanks for the offer, but I don't really need any teaching from you, said Naruto. Jiraiya didn't know what to say as that was his only hook, line and sinker move. But it turned out to backfire big time because the kid actually didn't need anything from him. So what was he gonna say now? Kagura herself was intrigued. From what she's seen, the clone technique was supposed to make a perfect copy of yourself. However, Naruto clones came out so violent. It made her wonder if it was the other side inside of him that is a copy of the clone. And they are just pieces of that side emotion that made him come out so violent. She also wondered how powerful they were. So, what's to eat, said Naruto. As that snapped her out of her trance. Oh, yeah, she said. As Naruto turned towards Jiraiya. Would you like to stay for dinner, he asked. Really? Yeah, sure, said Naruto. Yeah, said Jiraiya. That wouldn't be that bad. Kagura-chan, have you created enough so we can give Jiraiya here some of it, said Naruto. Yes, I believe it's enough to share, she said to him. Nice, said Naruto. Well then, let us enjoy Kagura's food. Because it's quite amazing, said Naruto. Time skip. A group of clan heads were gathered, and they were worried. So what are we gonna do, said Tasumi. I have no idea, said Shikaku. They had no idea what to do about the young, little prodigy, or force of nature if you like to call it that. Well, for one, we all have seen that if he goes against Konoha, well, it will be severely detrimental. If the Hokage himself believed that he's not even sure if he can take Naruto, then what does that mean for the rest of the village? And from what we've seen so far, said Choza. Well then, we're gonna have to make sure that he sees Konoha as a place that he is enjoying living at from now on. Otherwise, if it turns out the wrong way, well, things will be uncontrollable, Shikaku said. Time skip. It was the end of the 2-week period as shinobis had flooded in from all far and wide. Orochimaru was disguised as the Kazekage. The reason being, it was a different reason this time. Raza wanted to pull out. He refused to do this. However, Orochimaru did not like that. He had brought Kimimaro there and they had proceeded to kill Raza and the other guards that he brought. Orochimaru then took his place. He was going to use his son as a distraction. The orders that he set up for them and gave them was a rather, well, dangerous one. They were going to go after the child to slow him down while Orochimaru killed the third Hokage. And once that is done, he would join in with a seal that he had worked on over the past 2 weeks. A seal that would be able to restrain the fox inside the boy. Kabuto was able to gather some more information on Naruto Uzumaki. It seems he was special than he thought. It should also restrain all mobility and strength. Orochimaru had used up a lot of test subjects, completely draining them of their chakra in order to make this seal. It has to work. He was praying that everything worked well. However, the Tishikage was also here as well. Usually he would not even show his face in Konoha even if his ninjas were participating, but this was not just any ninja. This was his granddaughter. And she would be facing Naruto Uzumaki. As the Tishikage was here to see for himself as well. However, he also had some complaints. At the moment, the Tishikage arrived with his 2 guards behind him. Him and the Hokage greet one another, as the talks were small and fake. While Hiruzen was trying to bring the peace, the Tishikage did not like Konoha one bit. From the past actions, he still had a little grudge against them. Maybe he was just angry at his shinobi's weakness to survive the battle against Minato, but he was still not forgiving of that. As they sat down as the participants came out, You know that I've heard about that child down there, and yet he's still participating in the exams. I thought you would have taken the courtesy and pulled him from the exams. Now why would I do that? Asked Hiruzen. Considering that he is not a genuine level child, going around collecting B and A rank bounties by himself, from the other nations as well. Do you think we're fools? Actually, I knew this was coming, that is why. Hiruzen pulled out a file, as he handed it to Unki, who took it cautiously. What's this? That's Naruto record. The mission that he's been on. I know that he would try to cause some kind of false action here, however, as you can see, he has done nothing out of the sorts to qualify for a stronger promotion. Those missions have all he's been done since he's become a genin. You expect me to buy this? For all I know, this is a fake. Well, out of courtesy, I showed you that. Come on, Tishikage, the Kazekage said. Which other village leader do you know that will show you proof of their shinobi even though they don't have to? We all might claim that he is nuts, fit for this exam, but as you can see, he is actually a genin. He graduated a few months ago, and his age doesn't lie about that. The Tishikage grumbled with two of them agreeing. He didn't like it one bit. He was just here to see how strong the child actually was. He told Kurosaki if things got too bad, she must pull out. While he loved his village and the village strength that they represent, he loved his granddaughter and he didn't want anything to happen to her. Over to the side, there was Tsubaki. Tsubaki had not been pleased over the months. Despite what she said, Kurosaki still had this look on her face, like she was thinking about him, and Tsubaki hated it, because she liked her. She had the biggest crush on her since they were younger. However, Kurosaki was not into girls. She told herself 100 times that she could never get what she wanted. However, as the time went on, the more they grew, Kurosaki and her relationship as friends became so strong that she thought there might be a chance, but this brat was in her way. She had plotted to tell Unki what happened after, if anything happened out of the way here, to make sure that Kurosaki was banned from ever coming anywhere near Konoha. That will have to be the case. She would beg the Tishikage not to involve her name in anything because she didn't want their relationship to fall apart. However, once she was upset about what her grandfather said, Tsubaki would come in and comfort her as she always do, showing her that she was the right person for her and no one else. As Naruto glanced around down there, as he could not see Sasuke anywhere, up in the stands, Kagura was sitting by herself when someone approached her from the side. It turns out that it was Kurenai UI. Hello there, said Kurenai. Oh, hello. Kurenai extended her hand. My name's Kurenai UI. Nice to meet you. I'm Kagura, said Kagura. I heard that you've taken over as a parentage for Naruto. Well, you've heard correct, said Kagura. How can I help you? Well, I just wanted to get to know you, Kurenai said. It's not often that something like this happens. Well, it's not often that you meet someone like Naruto, said Kagura. Yes, you're right about that. You know that he saved my life. He did? Yes, on a mission. Me and my team, if it wasn't for them arriving so quickly or him getting me back to Konoha, I might not be here today. He's intrigued me ever since. He's a special child indeed, not to mention his name is all around the Elemental Nation. This is also putting a lot of eyes on you as well, as you can see. As she turned to see people looking at her, even mostly the Hyugas. Granted, you're not even sitting with them, considering your eyes. However, your eyes are far different from Hinata's. While hers and her family has lavender, yours are pure white. What can I say? I'm special. And no one will tell us where you come from. Well, it's a secret. Well, I knew that you were going to say that, said Kurenai. I guess I shouldn't push it. Yes, you shouldn't, said Kagura. Well, it was nice meeting you. As Kurenai paused, if you wanna come and sit with us. As she pointed towards another section where there was a woman there, with purple hair, and a few others. They were mostly girls. However, there was a guy with a beard there as well, and a guy in a green jumpsuit. Kagura looked towards them. She didn't really have any friends. Well, if I'm not intruding. Oh, of course not. Come on. As she got up, arriving there, Kurenai introduced all of them, as they looked towards her. This was the unknown Hyuga that was living with Naruto now. That no one can explain because Hokage would not tell them anything much. It was above their ranks, their clearance. Maybe they should get to know her because she was having a lot of sway over Naruto, it seems. Well, they didn't know their relationship, but it seems like a family type, not some kind of thing that would be not right because Naruto was so young. However, the woman seemed really nice, as Naruto glanced up to see Kagura talking to the others, and he was happy. Happy to see her getting along with the others as well. It was a good thing. He wondered where Sasuke is though. However, he didn't have time for that. He tried his best not to look at her, but their eyes met. He looked away rather instantly. Kurosaki took a breath. Alright. The proctor called out before he handed the reins over to the Hokage. Hiruzen gave a speech. Once he was done, the proctor took back over. Alright, the first match will be between Kurosaki of the Stone versus Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha. The rest of you head up to the podium. They proceed to do that while the two of them stayed on there. Tsubaki was watching Naruto carefully. Her eyes did not leave him once. Oniki looked down there as well, looking at the interaction between his granddaughter and the unknown child. The Kazukage, the disguised Orochimaru, watched the events take place. As he had his seal prepared, he hoped that this would go along as he thought. If not, this would be really bad. Not having the snakes at his disposal, he would have to use explosives, and he was angry about that. However, Konoha had to fall, and there was no child that was going to stop him, he told himself. Alright, are the both of you ready? They both nodded. Begin! Sakura sat in the stands. As she looked down towards Naruto, she knew that he was going to be fine. However, he was acting strange. The way he was behaving was just like how he behaved when they first came back from that mission. As Sakura wondered, no, it can't be. Could this be the girl that he liked? No, it can't be, she thought to herself. Well, Naruto was always unpredictable, always surprising people. Maybe this was a girl that he had a crush on. But what about her? Did she like him? Sakura didn't want his feelings to get hurt. As Naruto and her had become close, good friends, Sasuke was getting more and more distance away from them. However, Naruto was always there to cheer up with happy words. And she didn't want him to get hurt like how she got hurt when Sasuke just blew her off. All the time. And not to mention, Naruto was making quite a name for himself all over. What if this girl was just after him because of his reputation he was gaining? She always knew that Naruto was ridiculously strong. Like, extremely strong. No other people knew that. Down in the arena, neither of them had moved despite the match being started a minute ago. As everyone watched as nothing was happening. Absolutely nothing. What's going on? Said Oniki. I do not know. Said Hiruzen, as he was not sure either. As he wondered why wasn't Naruto ending this in seconds like he usually did. As Hiruzen knew that there was no kid here that could take Naruto on in the slightest, up in the stands, Gaara was watching down below. He couldn't wait for his turn to kill Uzumaki, because he will kill him. Temari and Kankuro was keeping a close eye on Naruto, as they were giving new orders about what they should do. And majority of their forces were going to go after him as well. There was no chance in hell that he would survive against so much of them. As Naruto stood in front of Kurosaki, neither of them moved. Kurosaki didn't know what the hell was wrong with her. People would start to get suspicious, yet she couldn't attack him. She couldn't even look at him, she feels so out of bound. What's wrong? He said to her. His voice came out soft, as he was looking at her. It seems like what she said still messed him up even now. Nothing, I'm fine, she said. You should be worrying about yourself. Don't worry about me. Just go on ahead and attack me, said Naruto. So you won't be fighting back. Do you think I'm not strong enough, she said. No, it's not that, said Naruto. I just want to end this really quickly. Fine then, she said. She flashed through handstand before the stone formed around her fists, making them large. She then rushed forward and started to pummel him in the face. Everyone gasped in surprise, thinking that she got him. However, The more she hit him, the more they realized that he was not even moving. Kurosaki hit him until the fist broke off. The pieces of earth broke off her fists, dropping to the ground. "Why won't you fight back?" she yelled at him, getting really upset. As Naruto looked down towards his hands, I was dreading this moment. It kept me up all night last night knowing that I'll have to fight you. Even after what you said, Naruto whispered. His voice is coming out soft so most people could not hear him. "You tore me apart in the inside, but I kind of understand. We're from two different villages, we can never be together. Despite how much I care about you." "Wait, what?" She was surprised. You still?" "Of course I do," said Naruto. "I wasn't sure back then, but I think I actually weirdly loved you. I mean, I know it's Russian and everything, but yeah, it's strange," said Naruto. You love me?" "Yeah," said Naruto. "I wasn't sure about my feelings back then. However, I was able to talk to someone, and they explained to me everything about those kind of feelings, and I guess, well, we will never know," he said, looking up at her. Even now, tears came from his eyes. "I look at you and it's so painful. Maybe it's because you, despite being from a different village, you understand me. We were friends, and then it quickly started to escalate until we were once again reminded that we could never go beyond that because, well, it's quite simple. We're from two different nations." Kurosaki's hands dropped to her side. "Damn it," she cursed at him. Damn it, you bastard," she yelled. As everyone heard that part, Oniki wondered what the hell is going on. What is she doing? "What's wrong?" "Don't," she said. "Stop talking so nice. Stop behaving so soft. You're getting to me every time you do." "Getting to you," said Naruto. Damn it. She looked away. Those feelings that she tried to deny was coming back full force. Orochimaru, on the other hand, raised an eyebrow under his veil. This could be something interesting, he thought. She took a breath. "You're right. Let's get this with over quickly." "What?" "Not here," she said to him. "I'm gonna now hit you with my strongest technique." As she started to go through her hand sign, Naruto felt a large amount of her chakra being gathered. Before she slammed her hand on the ground, Earth style, Hydra Dragon! A gigantic Earth Dragon with 8 heads shot up. The thing then started to spew mud balls that slam viciously in the ground as Naruto jumped away. As everyone was more focused now, the dragon started to attack and lashed out at him violently. One of them slammed its head on the ground, forcing him to jump up in the mid-air, as one of the other heads swallowed Naruto, shocking the people in the stadium. However, the thing next started to bulge until it was blasted open as Naruto emerged. Before he flipped, he then jumped up in the air and dropped his fist right in the center. The whole thing exploded. The force threw Kurosaki back. Before she could slam in the wall though, Naruto appeared behind her and wrapped his arms around her, stopping her from being injured. Tsubaki clenched her fist in rage. Oniki was surprised that he saw a small smile came on her face. "Again, I've tried to block you out for the past month, but just after seeing you, you reverse all of that. Just go ahead and knock me out," she said. "So does this mean that nothing can ever..." "We'll talk after this." Naruto was surprised. "Really?" "I don't know what I'm feeling either, but the more I deny it, the more painful it gets. Now hurry up and knock me out before people start to get suspicious." As Naruto chopped her in the back of the neck, everyone was shocked at that display. He ended the match so easily, it was like he was barely trying. Onki, on the other hand, saw how long he held on to her, and that they were whispering something, as he wondered what the hell was going on. Orochimaru was watching the whole scene. Maybe there was a weakness to this child. That was not just him. Human emotion. Love. Always the worst trait in a human, Orochimaru thought with a smirk to his face, as he was gonna use that against a boy. But guys, be and subscribe right here for the next part, and do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm moving on, see you guys soon. Peace, guys.